All right, this is Vinny, and I'm going to attempt to make a video here of using Board Game Companion on the Pulse Game Pulse demo. I'm not going to go through all the uh, preliminary steps of loading the game. I'm just going to play the game itself. I do have some personal nuances that I do, and if the opportunities present themselves, maybe we'll do that. I do stolen bases quite a bit differently. I've got my own charts that I've kind of have redone a little bit, and those will come into play. Now I roll my own dice, so you're not going to see the dice on the screen. You might hear them rolling, but as I roll the dice, I will check the results. We'll use the um, you'll see Jack Flaherty. He's on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm playing a World Series between the '84 Tigers and the '24 Dodgers. And I tell you the truth, I can't remember. I think it's the series is tied right now. I think it's a 2-2 series. But excuse me. But you'll see the opportunity to see how this works. Here's the Detroit Tigers lineup. We have Whitaker at second, Trammell at short, Kirk Gibson in right, Lance Parrish. He'll be catching. Darrell Lemon's going to be the DH, Johnny Grubb left field, Chet Lemon in center, Howard Johnson at third base, and Dave Bergman is going to play first base. So you can see I have the screen set up here. Results will show up here. Batting lineup here is the button to enter the results. So I enter the results manually. This is how I play all of my games. I do have the cards for both of these teams. But we're going to forego that today, and we'll save that for another project. But here you are. This is just the basic setup. We're in the top of the first. Lou Whitaker is the hitter, and we're rolling a 694. So Flaherty is a sixth patient, and Lou Whitaker 94 on the patient will go down there, and it looks like it's a fly out to right field. So we do that, fly out, right field, and we have one out. All right. So Alan Trammell is the hitter, and we roll a 6-8. Flaherty 6 is another patient roll. Trammell on the 8, and that's going to be a walk. So the walk is under the hit section. We have Tigers have a runner on first base. Now, Trammell is a D stolen base, and Will Smith is a one arm. So we're not going to roll the dice, and we have a hold of 8. Now, normally what I would do to steal a base is I would add the hold of 8 to the runner's jump rating, and I would get 12. And I actually use a 20-sided die uh, to determine if he is stealing with a good lead or a bad lead. But he's a D1. We're not going to do that. So Gibson comes up, and we have a 735. That's a tough Gibson on the 35, and he gets a double. He gets a double, and that's going to move uh, for runners on second and third, and with one out. That brings up Lance Parrish. So Parrish is the hitter. We're rolling an 825. 8 again is tough. And Parrish on the 25 is going to be a strikeout. So now we have two outs and runners on second and third. And here comes Darrell Evans. So Evans is a left-handed batter. Our dice roll is a 5, which is in play. Darrell Evans is on the 97. That's going to be a fly out to right field. So that's going to be all for the Tigers in the top half of the first inning. All right, so Dan Petrie is going to be on the mound for the Tigers. The Dodger lineup: Shohei Ohtani is the DH, Mookie Betts is short, Freeman is first, catcher Will Smith batting fourth, Teoscar Hernandez in left, Max Muncy at third, Page in center, Lux at second, and Hayward in right. Okay, so Petrie, the roll is a 960. We have in play Shohei Ohtani on the 60, and that's going to be a ground out to third base. There we go, third base, and we have well. That's how easy it is to enter the results on the manual entry. All right, Petrie facing Mookie Betts. Now, I think in the lineup screen here, the averages reflect the averages of the replay of what we're playing here, not their actual average. All right, so we have a 681 on the roll. That's going to be a tough, and then 81, and that's going to be over on the side here. That is a grounder to shortstop. So we have ground out here. And you'll notice on the manual entry that you don't get the pop-ups on the screen with the play result. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I'm not that crazy about this up here in the corner. I don't really pay much attention to it. I mean, if that was an option that I could leave off, I'd probably just leave it off. I'd actually prefer it just be simplified, just say fly out to right field or Otani grounds out to third base or something of that nature. I like to keep things very simple when I play. I just like to roll the dice, get the results, and just move on. Okay, Freddie Freeman, and this time we get a 718. It's a tough, and 18 is going to be a strikeout. So we have finished one inning, and there's no score. Flaherty comes up. He's on the hill. He's facing Johnny Grubb. It's a 2-11. We have a wheelhouse. We have a wheelhouse roll on the 2, Johnny Grubb 11, and that's going to be a home run for Johnny Grubb. So the Tigers will take a 1-0 lead on Johnny Grubb's home run. All right, Chet Lemon comes to the plate. And we have a 10, which is a tough, and 81 on the tough. We'll read off the side. Looks like a fly out to center field. All right, Howard Johnson, third baseman, and is a 6. So that's a patient. Howard Johnson, 54, patient, and he's going to get a double on this. So Hojo with a double. One out, runner on second. Dave Bergman will step in. And we have a 795. So we have another tough reading. And Dave Bergman, 95. That's going to be a fly ball to right field. I don't usually move the runners up on flyouts. Runners are going to hold. And now we are back up the top with Lou Whitaker. I'm going to see if these averages change over here on the right. Okay. Here is Whitaker. We get a roll of 974. So Flaherty still is tough. Whitaker tough 74. And this is a fly out to center field. So we have a fly out to center field, and that's it for the Tigers. But they get a home run from Johnny Grubb, and they take a 1-0 lead. All right, so Petrie's on the hill. Will Smith comes to the plate for the Dodgers. We have 1196, so we have in play, and then 96 is going to be a fly out to left field. Fly out left field, one out. And next is Teoscar Hernandez. We have 1089. Patient, 89 on the patient is outside, so that's a ground ball to shortstop. And there are now two outs for the Dodgers as Trammell makes the play. And we have Max Muncy. Muncy hit a home run in the game yesterday off of Jack Morris. All right, we have a 323 defense and 23. Now, again, my charts would be a little bit different. So in the chart that I created, this is a range of the left fielder, and Johnny Grubb is a D. Oops, you know what? I forgot to get my ballpark card. All right, fortunately, the cards are right behind me. All right, so we have a D on the range, and I'm going to roll the dice. We have a 41. That is going to be a hit. The roll is a 6. So the hit is going to be a base hit for Max Muncy. I tinkered with the numerical readings for the text because I wanted to get a better distribution of errors. It seemed like in one of the replays that I have done that players are getting way more errors than they should have gotten. So I kind of adjusted, and I actually based it off of Stratamatic's percentages, how often um, fielders came up on the X chart. So I kind of redid it that way. I actually um, find it a little bit better. Not that much of a difference, but it does create a couple more opportunities for the catcher to be involved as well. So, all right. So we have a runner on first. We have two outs. We have Andy Pages up, and we have 672. So Petrie's 6. He's a tough. Page 72. All right, so he's outside the range, and that's just a fly out to center field. And that will be it for the Dodgers in the second. All right, Alan Trammell comes up, walked his first time up. We have 314. We have defense. 14 for me is going to be a range for the third baseman. So we have a B for Max Muncy. We're going to roll the dice here. And we have an 82, so that's just an out, and that's just a ground out to third base. And so we have one out, Gibson coming up. We have a roll of 5, and it's 43, so 5 is in play. In play, 43. We have to refer over to the side. That looks like a ground out to the pitcher. All right, so ground out and pitcher, and that is now 2 outs. Lance Parrish, he's been doing pretty well here. Of course, only in 077, but we have 798, so we have tough 98. That's outside, and that's going to be a fly out to left field. All right, so we have bottom of the third. We have Gavin Lux coming up for the first time. Petrie still on the hill. We have 862. Petrie, that is a tough. Gavin Lux 62, just outside the of a hit range, and it's going to end up being a ground out to the shortstop Trammell. So, and now we come up with Jason Hayward, and we have 716 tough, and more than likely that is a strikeout. Okay, so we have 2 outs now, and we're back up top with Shohei Ohtani. All right, so we have 7 tough, and it's a 1, and it's a strikeout. So Petrie kind of cruising along so far. We're a third of the way through. Tigers still holding on to a 1-0 lead. All right, Darrell Evans here in the top of the fourth. We have 8. Tough. Darrell Evans 93 going to the side. It's a fly out to right field. And 1 out. Johnny Grubb. The big hit so far, the home run. And we have 839. It's a tough one, Johnny Grubb. And he strikes out. So there's a strikeout for Johnny Grubb. We have 2 outs, Chet Lemon. And we have 986, another tough reading. Lemon 86, and that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop to end the inning here in the top of the fourth. All right, Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is up. Here's the roll of the dice. We have a 6-4, tough 4, and that's going to be a strikeout. 1 out. And Dan Petrie facing Freeman now. We have 852. Petrie is a tough, and Freeman on the 52. That's going to be a single. Freeman gets the hit on the tough reading. And so now there's a runner on first. Okay, and again, we have a B2. I'm just going to kind of check my chart here. All right, I'm going to hold him. So we're going to hold him. And when I hold him, I decrease the rating by 1. So now he is a C2 opportunity to steal as he's being hold. Now, if I decide to steal him and it went outside or outside the jump, then it would be, I would knock it down even 1 more rating. Okay, so we have, right now he's going to be a C2 with the arm of Lance Parrish. And the hold rating for Petrie is a 7. And the jump rating is 2. So he would have to get he'd have to have a 9 or less to get a good jump to run at that C2. If I stole and it was a 12, for example, then we would drop it down another grade. So that's how I kind of do stolen base. Here's Will Smith. We have 1023, so each we have a patient, and Smith is going to draw a walk here. And so the Dodgers are in business right now as they have runners on first and second with 1 out, and Teoscar Hernandez is the hitter. And we have a 10 patient again, 62, and he's hit with the pitch. So Petrie is kind of running into some problems here. And he's got the bases loaded with 1 out. He has Max Muncy up. Muncy had to hit his first time up. And Dodgers looking to put some runs on the board here. Let's see what we get. We have 492. We have a ballpark reading on Petrie, and 92 on the ballpark is going to be an in play. So we will roll the 2 dice for an in play, and it comes out to be a 52, and that is going to be a ground ball to third base. Now, so this is where a double play could come into effect here. We have a DP of 4 for Muncy. Petrie has a DP of 6, so it has to be a 4 or better to get the double play, and it's a 6, so they're only going to get the force out, and that's going to allow a runner to score. So we get an out, we get a fielder's choice. He's out at second, and it's going to be third to second, and a run score. So the Dodgers tie it up. There's 2 outs, and Andy Page comes up. And we have 984. So this is an in play. And 84, this is a grounded to short. And that's going to end the inning. So there we go. 3 outs. Dodgers tie it up. They got 1 run with the bases loaded. All right, we head to the fifth. Flaherty is let's see, he gets tired in the sixth, so he can still go. All right, so here's Hojo, and we have 673. So we have Patient, and 73 is going to end up being a fly out to center field. 1 out. Dave Bergman. We have a 1245. All right, let's see. So 12 on Flaherty's card is a wheelhouse. And Dave Bergman on the 45, and he is going to be just a base hit. All right, so that's a base hit for Bergman. He's on first. He doesn't steal well at all. Back up to Lou Whitaker. All right, we have 781. Tough. And 81. Okay, this is a fly out to center field. And he's out. 2 down. Trammell coming up. We have 624. Patient. Trammell 24 on the pitch. He's going to draw a walk. So now we have runners on first and second. Brings up Kirk Gibson. So Tigers trying to get something going with 2 outs here. All right. We have a 7, which is a tough, and a 17 on Kirk Gibson. He strikes out. And the Dodgers get out of that little jam. We head to the bottom of the fifth, still tied 1-1. Gavin Lux is your hitter. We have 1061. We have Patient, and 61 is going to be a single for Gavin Lux. So he's on. Runner on first. We have Jason Hayward. He doesn't bunt very well, so we're not going to try a bunt here. All right, we're just going to let him hit away. We have 925 in play. Jason Hayward, 25 outside the realm there, and it's going to be a pop to the catcher. So we'll pop out to the catcher, and we have 1 away. Ohtani coming up. We have 757. It's a tough reading. Ohtani on the tough reading 57. He's going to get a single. Now, when we have a tough, I usually just take whatever it is. He just goes the number of bases. I think this is in the rule book, and that's kind of the way I play it. All right. So here is Dan Petrie. Now we have runners on first and second, and Petrie can go 7 innings here, so he's going to stay in for the time being. Mookie Betts comes up. We have 626 tough, 26, and he just got the strikeout. We rolled the 26, and that was the upper limit, so he's out. Now you have the dangerous Freddie Freeman with 2 outs and runners on first and second. We have 858, another tough reading. Seems like we're getting a lot of tough readings here. And 58 is outside the range of the hit. 58 is going to be a fly out to left field. Okay, we are heading to the sixth. Flaherty is still in there. And Lance Parrish is the hitter. We have a 2 wheelhouse. It's a wheelhouse reading, and Paris on a 94 and that's outside the range, and he's just going to fly out to left field deep. Okay, one away. Now you've got the left hand hitting pair 11. And we have 8, 12, so tough 8. And 12 for the tough, and that's a strikeout. Okay, Johnny Grubb. We have 941. So on Flaherty, 9 is tough. Grubb 41, and he's just at the range. He gets the strikeout. Okay, so we go to the bottom of the sixth. Petrie is facing Will Smith. We have 10-28. We have Patient. Will Smith, Patient 28. He's going to draw a walk. All right, so Smith is on first. Teoscar Hernandez is the hitter. And here we go. We have a 685. So 6 is tough. And that's 70. It's out of his range. 85 is a grounded to short. Now he is a DP of 6. Petrie is also a double play of 6. So here we go. It is an 8, so they're only going to get the force out. All right, so that will count as a fielder's choice. He's out at second, and it's short to second, and so Hernandez is on. He's a B2, and his jump rating is a 3, hold a 7, so it'll be a 10. It'd be a 10 B2. So we're gonna hold him on. So we'll make him a C2. All right, Max Muncy is the hitter. We roll the dice. We have a 7. 7 is tough. 13, and that's a strikeout. And Andy Page coming up. So there are 2 outs. Petrie, we have a 337. So 37 on my defensive chart is going to be an error on the pitcher. An error on the pitcher, and Dan Petrie is looks like an E4. All right, so E4. We rolled 50, so that is going to be an out. 3 on the chart is just a ground out, so ground out to the pitcher. So that ends the 6. We head to the 7. Flaherty is still in there. He's only allowed 1 run, 4 hits. So we're going to keep him in there. He's facing the bottom of the order, which is Lemon, Johnson, and Bergman. Okay, so here we go. And we have 720, so we have Tough and Lemon. More than likely, that's a strikeout. Let's just see how many strikeouts Flaherty has this uh, game so far. Let me see. Jack Flaherty has 6 strikeouts right now. Okay, Howard Johnson, the switch hitter. They're going to let him stay up batting lefty. All right, we have a 465, so we have ballpark and 65 at Dodger Stadium. And believe that is a wheelhouse reading for Howard Johnson. So we're going to roll the 2 dice here and see what he gets. He gets exactly a 40, which is exactly a home run. There it is, right there on the card. Let's see if it'll stay up there. I guess not. But he hits the 40, and it's a home run. So Hojo puts the Tigers out in front, 2-1. And Dave Bergman is going to come up. All right, so Bergman, Flaherty's still in there. And we have 1081. So this is another tough reading. Bergman, 81. That's going to go over to the out section here. It's a fly to center field. So we are in the seventh inning stretch. We have Lou Whitaker coming up. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have miscalculated there. There's two outs. And I think they're going to go to the bullpen now. So let's go to Dodgers are going to go to the bullpen. They got Whitaker coming up. And here's our screen. Let's look for our pitchers. And let's see who we can use here. Um, let's see if we can find a left-handed pitcher. I want to say Vicia. Actually, let's go with Anthony Banda. No, we're gonna go with Vicia. So Vicia is going to come in, and he's going to face Lou Whitaker. So we have to look at the lefty side of the card, the batter's card now when we check the readings. So here's Vicia. Right, he was in 67 games. Looks like he pitched 66 in the third innings and had a stellar 1.76 ERA. So Vicia comes in. Here's the roll. It's a 426. It's a tough reading, and on Whitaker on the left side of his card now, and that's a strikeout. Now, if it had been on, if Flaherty was still in there, that would have been a single, but Whitaker strikes out against the lefty. And now we're in the seventh inning stretch. Okay. It's a 2-1 ball game thanks to Hojo's home run. And Petrie now comes out to start the bottom of the seventh. Gavin Lux is the hitter. We have a 628. So 6 is tough. Lux on the 28, and he's going to strike out. So one thing that maybe they could do in this game is to have the. I know I'm comparing this with Stratomatic in the way I set my screen up in Stratton. They've got a box that shows the pitcher and the hitter and uh, the season stats and uh, the replay stats and the game stats in the same box. That might be something that could be put in here. There's a lot of dead space over here that you can kind of do some things with. Maybe one day they're gonna make so you can put player photos here or something. That remains to be seen, but I like my screens nice and simple anyway. Um, because as you can see, I play my games relatively quickly, and I'd like to just move from one game to the next. Okay, so where are we? We are in the bottom of the seventh. There's one out, and we have Jason Hayward up at the plate. We have 769. We have a tough and 69. That's in the out range. That is going to be a fly out to center field. Out center field. I'm gonna be honest with you. I play the same way when I play Strat. I do manual entry there as well, and seems like there are less clicks um, for the manual entry on the Game Pulse screen. In Strat, you'll hit fly out. Um, then each runner is there, and you got to hit the drop down menu, and then you get down to where the fielders are. So you might be making 3 or 4 clicks um, on their screen. Here it seems to be just a couple at most. So it seems to be a little bit easier than Strat as far as manual entry is concerned. All right, Shohei Ohtani, and I've been playing Strat on the PC since the all around the mid '90s, so I'm very familiar with the game engine. and the different things. And I pretty much have always played manual entry because it gives me the feel of holding the card. And in fact, I do hold the cards. Um, yeah, today I'm not holding the cards because the cards are on screen. But generally, when I probably play by myself, I probably won't be flipping back and forth to the cards. Okay, so here we go. We have 1098. Shohei Tani is up. This is a patient. 98, and that's outside. That's going to be a fly out to right field. And that's all for the Dodgers in the seventh. So the Tigers have Trammell, Gibson, and Paris coming up. And we're going to go to the bullpen again. And I think we're going to go with, let me see Blake Trinan's card. Yeah, let's go with Blake Trinan. All right, so we're going to bring Trinan in for the Dodgers here in the top of the eighth. Okay, and Alan Trammell's going to lead it off. And we have 1046. We have in play 46, and in the out section is a ground out to the pitcher. Ground out pitcher, and we have one away. Gibson comes up. 6-11. Tough. Gibson on the 11. That's a strikeout. I'm kind of wondering how Game Pulse is going to deal with different eras and rule changes. I haven't seen that be addressed at this point. You know, you have where you started the Ghost Runner a couple of years ago, along with the 3 batter minimum for relief pitchers. You know, if you're dealing and playing with the 60s, um, you know, that they're under a different set of rules. So I'm kind of interested to see if that's going to be something that's automatically programmed into the game, or if that's something you have to figure out and keep track for yourself. For example, what do we do in the 10th inning here? Suppose this game goes in extra innings. Do they automatically play with the Ghost Runner rule, or do they play with the old rules? So those are some questions I think I would have um, going forward. Okay, Lance Parrish. We have 499. Tough 99, well, that can only be an out. That's a fly out to left field. So there we go. And we now have that. Petrie is still in there. But I am going to have Guillermo Hernandez or Willie Hernandez warming up in the bullpen. And here we go with Mookie Betts. And we have 764. This is tough. We have 64, and that is going to end up being a ground out to second base. Ground out second base. Okay, I got Frank. You know what? Petrie has pitched a great game. We're going to go to the Tigers bullpen, and we are going to bring in Willie Hernandez. Okay, so Hernandez is going to come in. He's facing Freeman, and you can see Hernandez was 9-3 in '84. He had a 1.92 ERA, 32 saves. He pitched 140 innings. Can you imagine a relief pitcher pitching 140 innings today? Unheard of. Okay, here we go. We have a 956. That's a tough out. So um, it is outside the range there, right? It's not a hit. So 56 fly out to left field. Fly out left field. 2 outs. Will Smith comes in. We have a 798. That is a tough. Will Smith on the 98, of course. That's going to be a fly out to left field. Okay. So we are heading to the ninth. We are heading to the ninth. And let's see, the Tigers have Evans, Grubb, and look, they got two lefties. Let me see if the Dodgers have any other lefties in the bullpen. They got Yarbrough. Uh, Canstone, Phil, Spy Mill, Anthony Banda. Mr. Banda. He's a 3.08. Eh, you know what I'm going to do, though? I think I'm going to bring in, no, not Evan Phillips. Hmm, Yarbrough, 374. Tough decision here. Tough decision. Dodgers didn't have a great bullpen. I think we're going to go with Daniel Hudson. All right, so Daniel Hudson is going to come in, and he's going to face Evans. All right, so here we go. We have a 11:36, so we have a defense, and 36 is an error on the pitcher. And let's see, so his error rating is a 3. So we're going to check this here. Whoop. Okay, so we have a 19, and that is in fact going to be an error. 7 on the chart. It's a one base error, so we have an error on the pitcher. All right, Johnny Grubb coming up. Now Grubb can bunt, but I'm going to take advantage of the righty-lefty situation here. We've got a 771, so we have Cup, and 71 is going to be a ground out to the pitcher, so we have a possible double play. He's a 5, and he's a 5, so let's see. And we roll a 7, so they're only going to get the force out. All right, so fielder's choice out at second. Now we're going to go pitcher to shortstop. 1 out. So Grubb is on. He's an A stealer. A1. They're going to hold him on. So we're going to make him a B1, a B stealer with a 1 arm. So we have B1. And let's see, hold of 7. Yeah, let's see if we can get rid of this card here. Oh, and he's got a jump of 1, so he'd only have a good jump at 8. So they are going to hold him on, though. Okay. Chet Lemon. We have 241. Oh, this is not good for the Dodgers. 2 is a wheelhouse roll off of Hudson. 11, 41. All right, 41 is going to be a double. And because it's a wheelhouse, Grubb is going to come all the way around and score. So we have a double. And that's going to extend the Tigers' lead to 3-1. All right, so things aren't looking too well here for the Dodgers. All right, Howard Johnson. We have 10-22. Patient. Howard Johnson, 22. He walks. All right, and that's going to be it for Daniel Hudson. He's kind of got rocked a little bit here. Yarbrough, let me see. Kopech. Oh, anyway, let's go with Kopech. Let's get him to shut it down. Give the Dodgers a little bit more of a chance here. Because the Tigers just brought in another run. So Kopech, right, facing Bergman. We have 886, so there's tough on Kopech's card. And 86, that is going to be a grounder to the second baseman. So again, a double play possibility. We have 6 for Bergman. Kopech is an 8, so we have to go with the 6. Right, we said this was a grounder to the second baseman. And a roll of 4, so they are going to get the double play. So there we go. We get the out, we get the double play. It is a 4-6-3, and that is going to end it. Okay, so we have the bottom of the ninth. Tigers are leading 3-1. And you've got Hernandez, Muncy, and Page. So here we go against Willie Hernandez. All right, we have 4-15 tough. Hernandez is 15. It's a 1-60 on the strikeout, so that's a strikeout. Okay. Let's see, Muncy. Let's see if we got somebody that can hit for Muncy here. All right, let's go to the bench. And let's go to position players. Let's see. Rojas. Yeah, Miguel Rojas. He's going to hit for Muncy. All right, so let's see. We have 6. That's a patient out. All right, and it's a 43. So 43. Now it's a single, but because it's an out, all right, it has to be a walk or hit by pitch to accept the result. So we go over to the out section and we have a ground out to third base. And it's up to Page. And we have a 493, a tough. This is going to probably end the game. Yeah, 93 is a fly out to left field. And so there you go. Game over. Petrie gets the win. Flaherty gets the loss. Hernandez um, with the saves. Let's look at the box score. And let's see what we have here. All right. Tigers, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Dodgers, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. And we can kind of see here. Hojo had a pretty good day. Almost consider giving him the MVP for the game. It's, yesterday I had a blip where they had Jack Morris pitching, and it was a tie game going into the top of the 7th. It was 3-3, and then the Morris walked the leadoff hitter in the 7th, so I took him out and brought in Aurelio Rodriguez to face Will Smith. Smith ended up doubling, and um, the other Freeman came around to score. And the issue was is that in the box score here, it had properly credited Morris with 4 runs, all earned, but they ended up giving the loss to Lopez. So I kind of reported that on the other um, site. But here you go. Petrie, 7 in the third, 4 hits, 1 run earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Right, and in this World Series that I've been playing, he's won both of his starts. Hernandez gets another save. Flaherty, who had won a start, is now even at 1-1. So let's get rid of this. I don't know if you can get rid of this without closing out the game. But as you can see, that is the um, board game companion. Once the actual cards come out, I don't know if if you'll be able to play seasons that don't have the actual cards showing or not. So there's a lot of questions I still have, but I really enjoy the game. I think it's a great game. As you can see, it plays very smoothly, and I hope this kind of gives you a little insight into how the board game companion would work. I mean, I could have played with my Stratomatic cards here as well and have entered the results just as easily. So, all right, there you go. Thank you very much, and have a good day.